Hey guys, all right, so for this workout, we are going to be starting with a 0.3 mile run, and you're going to be scoring your fastest, okay? So we're going to run 0.3 miles, you're going to rest for 3 minutes, and then you're going to repeat that 0.3 miles. So I suggest that if you're starting from your house, you're going to go ahead and run 0.3 in one direction, rest wherever that 0.3 distance ends for 3 minutes, and then run your way back home, okay? And you're going to score your fastest time. Now, when you are done with those both times, your two runs, and you're like back home, you're gonna compare your times. So let's say if the first one took you 3 minutes to run, and then the second one took you 3 minutes and 4 seconds to run, right? So there's a 4-second difference. You're going to do one burpee for every second slower, okay? So try and keep your pace if you don't want to do any burpees, but remember the goal is always to better your time. So go ahead and aim for that. Go as much as you can. Go all out on that 0.3 mile run, and then come back, do it again, and then whatever difference there is in seconds between your distances, that will be your burpee buyout, so to say. Okay. So with that being said, I know I started explaining the skill before I started warming you up. So here's I want to change it up a little bit. I want you guys to start being aware of what your needs are when it comes to running workouts. Some of you might have pain under your foot in the mornings, or even just generally. So make it a habit to roll your feet out. I'm sorry for the mess. I am fostering kittens, and they're right here next to me, so if you hear the mews, I also am sorry for the noise, but I can't have poops on my carpet. All right, so roll your feet out, okay? There's so many options for you guys to prepare for running. You guys can roll your feet out. You can use the same lacrosse ball to roll out your calves. If some of you have pain in your calves after running, you can use a foam roller. Foam rolling is essential before your workouts. I always recommend foam rolling prior to working out versus post working out. Okay, so take the time to roll out, like 5 minutes. So while I'm talking, go ahead and grab whatever it is you want to use. It can be a ball, it can be even a frozen water bottle. That's also really good for rolling out. It can be a foam roller. If you have a band, okay, you can also use a band. Boom. Okay, so some good stretches for that I like to do is pulling up my foot and going up and down. Okay, if you don't have the band, you can use a t-shirt, you can use a towel, okay? You don't even have to use it. You just kind of go here and tap and tap. So make it a habit to like reach for the toes so that you're forcing your legs to stay straight. And going for 10, both sides. Cool, okay? So there's stretching you can do. You can even stretch out your calves. This is something that we generally do at the gym. Don't use your couch, use a wall. Okay, this is just because it's a good line of vision for you. But bringing your toes up against the wall and stretching your calf and playing with the angles of your toes, or bringing the toes out, bringing the toes in, is going to help you guys release all of that stress in your calves and your soleus muscle. Make sure you give your ankles mobility. Okay, so see, I spent about like the last minute or so talking about some different things you can do. Use that time to stretch, to roll out, to take care of any part of your body or all the parts of your body that you feel need that extra loving before you run, okay? And then when you're done there, go ahead and do your dynamic range of motion, start moving around, do a bit of running in place. It doesn't have to be with a clock. Again, just take 5 minutes on your clock or 7 minutes on your watch clock to just move around, do a couple of jumping jacks, reach down and up, do what you have to do to prepare for that run, okay? I gave you options. There's rolling your feet out, there's stretching with a band, with a towel, with a t-shirt. There's foam rolling also, and just general stretching of calf, ankle mobility, and all that good stuff, okay? So that's going to be your skill. So remember, you want to keep pace if you don't want to do your burpees. You want to keep the exact same time, but as usual, we always recommend that you guys go all out and improve your score. Okay, so after you are done with this 0.3 mile run, those 2.3 mile runs, go ahead and recover, rest up. That's going to be more than enough warm up for your workout. This is why I'm also not going through a warm up. because that run in itself is going to be a pretty good warm up for what's coming. So we have a home workout, CrossFit Open WOD. So this is a CrossFit open workout, 14.2, but we are bringing it down to COVID. Okay, so we're working indoors, so we're gonna make it happen. So here's the tricky part about this workout. You're always going to do 2 rounds, and you will always have a 3-minute window to complete it. Okay, so it's always 2 rounds, and it's always 3 minutes for you to complete. The tricky part here is that every 3 minutes, you're gonna add 2 reps to your rounds. So round 1, you're going to do 10 single arm overhead squats, okay? And 10 strict presses. So if I am working with 1 dumbbell, you're gonna do 5 and 5. Always split the work in half between your body if you're doing only 1 piece of equipment. So if I'm doing 10 single arm overhead squats, I'm going to do 5 on the right, okay, pretend I did 5, and then I'm going to do 5 on the left, okay? When I'm done with these 5, I'm going to go for my 5 strict presses. So I'm going to go for 5, pretend I did 5, and I'm going to go for 5, pretend I did 5. I have 2 minutes to complete my 10-10. And for this first round, most of you will finish with a decent time, which means you'll have enough time to rest before you have to do it again, okay? Remember, it's 2 rounds, so technically I'm doing 10 single arm overhead squats, 10 strict presses, and then again 10 overhead squats, and then 10 presses. It's 2 rounds, remember that. So when you're done there, you're gonna wait for minute 3 to come around, which means you're starting over. You're gonna do your overhead squats again and your presses, but this time instead of doing 10, you're going to be doing 12. So 6 and 6, okay? 2 rounds again. So you get my drift? You are going 2 rounds every time, but you're putting 2 reps to every movement as you go up. So look at the description at the bottom so that it makes sense to you. 16 would be where you stop. So if you do 16 overhead squats and 16 presses, 2 rounds, and you make it under those 3 minutes, champion, you've made it. But let's say you make it to 12 or 14 and you couldn't complete it within the 3-minute window, that means you're out. So it is pretty much a process of elimination workout. Your goal is to not be eliminated. Your goal is to try and get all of the reps done and all of the rounds done, those 2 rounds within that 3-minute window. Okay, so it's a challenge. It's mental toughness on this one. So that being said, I feel like this one requires a little more explaining than showing. But for your overhead squat, guys, pressing all the way up, I like to keep my opposite arm stretched out, so just that I found that balance and I'm like not wiggly. Make sure that you are bringing yourself all the way down to that parallel and coming back up, okay? If you're having a hard time with this, we suggest that you do more like a front squat hold or a goblet squat, boom, right here, okay? If having overhead is not happening. It is a very difficult movement to do, so don't be hard on yourself. Something else that you can do is doing it body weight, okay? And you're gonna start feeling, do a couple of these even before you start. Shifting your weight to the side. This is going to happen. Try to aim with this opposite arm to point away, almost like that direction, so that your body stays aligned. If you go this way, your body's going to turn. So try and do the opposite with the other hand so that it keeps you better aligned. Okay, so you can even do a body weight with your body up, with your hand up in the air. So that's the workout. For your strict press, it is strict. You don't get to dip or drive. You're going off strength here. All strength. Okay, there will be no power used for this. All strength. 5 and 5, or if you're using 2 dumbbells, you're going for 10 total. Okay, so have fun with that one. Look at the description. Make sure it makes sense to you, and don't get eliminated.